Hey everyone, hopefully having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'm going to interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That is where I dive deeper into the sectors, into the companies. And I think I've got a lot to offer for individual stock picks that might work for your guys' portfolio. Obviously, I can't advise you on anything, but I can tell you what I'm doing, what I'm buying, when I'm buying it. And you can see me in all my movements. And I think there's a lot of value there, seeing what I'm doing. So let's dive in. Let's take a look, see what's going on in the markets today. The DXY is getting a little bit of selling pressure today, and we did see the momentum lower, the weak bounce, and then another, what I think will be a weaker dollar follow through here. We have a bearish engulfing today. We have a weak follow through. So really it's an inverted flag pattern that probably projects somewhere down here in the short term. We've got the 2-year yield potentially dropping out of its rising wedge. And we've got a setup, which is an inverted flag pattern, much like the DXY dollar, that could break out here. Why do we go over this? What does it mean? What it means is that precious metals could really kick it into gear here. I mean, really kick it into gear if this drops. We could also see home builders rip. There's a lot of things that you guys need to tie in with yields and then the performance of stocks, like what drives what in the market. And that's why we go over a lot of these yields and dollar and all this stuff. But this looks good to go lower. US 10-year yield also getting some selling pressure today. So we pulled back 0.87%, and the 30-year also got a little bit of selling pressure, even though we had a bullish engulfing yesterday on some of these. So we could see yields pull back here. Definitely the short end looks like it's a little bit weaker. The long end, weaker on the 10-year, 30-year doesn't look as bad, but we could still drop. It's a possibility. TYX TNX ratio moving up today. When this moves upwards, we're going to see precious metals really take off. And the buy points that we were getting were all through here. The miners were through here. On the website, we nabbed a lot of the bottom of basically everything. We've carved it out, guys. Hold on. This could be a life-changing move here in precious metals and the gold and silver mining companies. There are some setups that look ridiculous, is what I'll say. Bond prices, we are up about 0.5% today. This does look like it wants to go higher. We've got a bullish engulfing, bullish engulfing. So I do think that yields are probably going to head lower based off of the confluence of information that I follow. US 10-year and 2-year, the 2 and 10, it's hanging in there though, which means that the short end of the curve didn't go down as much as the 10-year. So the curve still inverted to some degree as it dropped a little bit lower. Gold ripping it. This looks fantastic. And that's why yesterday I said gold and silver look good, even though the price didn't move yesterday. It looked good because today there's your bullish engulfing. We're going most likely higher here. It looks really good. We are also sitting on top of all of this resistance, which is now support. And you've got good downside support with what I think, we got to back out here, guys, with what I think is good upside potential. Oh my goodness. So that's what I think is coming. I think the setup is obviously an asymmetric setup here. It looks really good, in my opinion, for gold. Silver's also ripping it today, and that is very close to its breakout. We could see a big move in silver here. And look for this stair-step pattern. Doesn't mean tomorrow we're going to rip. We could very well have a little bloody nose, or maybe we don't. Maybe we do rip. I don't try to play the short term, but this looks really good. Look for a breakthrough here about 29 bucks, and that'll be a full send hopefully when we get above that. Platinum up another percent. It's grinding its way on up. I'm very curious to see if we can break through here. Then platinum's going to start ripping like you've never seen, hopefully. Palladium also moving on up. And I do think down here is actually a good time to be looking. Yeah, that's what I'll say there. Looks good. We're on support. We're getting a lot of basing pattern. So we're basing out. That's what I look for. And we're about to, we're getting some big buying candlesticks over here. And I think we're going to work our way on a XAU to gold ratio. Come on, baby. Here we go. We're breaking out of that line of happiness. We're going to put some distance on this thing soon. So this is what we were waiting for, guys. This is what we were waiting for. Gold and silver mining company surrounded by gold is breaking out. What are you doing? This is a highly important here time for these metals. Incredibly important. Because when you start to break, we've broken the momentum here, we've gone sideways here, and now we're going to start to work our way on up. This is what I would consider to be a very good opportunity time. Now, we've already purchased back here because we saw the technicals on the individual charts look good. But there's a bunch of opportunities still out there in the junior space that we can still look at that are high risk, high reward. And I'll go over some of those in our question and answer session meeting. I went over a lot of that in the midweek update as well. CRB index up a little bit. Are we going to roll back over, or is this the beginning of another move up? I generally don't buy by these like waterfall type selling pressure moves, but we could still work our way on it. It's possible. We've got CRB to S&P 500 slightly lower, ever so slightly, and I do think when gold starts moving, I think commodities are going to move, and we're going to get a big move. Big moves coming, guys. Third wave. You got to think in terms of patterns, not in terms of chasing little price movements. This third wave is going to be big. Just like this right here, third wave. And then you get the last fifth waves, usually a big wave too. So if they try to prop up the S&P 500, they're just going to push the commodity index higher and higher and higher. And this could be distorted even we could even go all the way up here. I'll just say that. We've got GDX up 3.5%, and guess what it is doing? It's breaking out of that pattern that I drew yesterday. And I said it's a big deal because we should watch for a breakout. There we are breaking out. There we go. GXJ also hitting it pretty hard. We broke out of the consolidation flag pattern to the upside. And SILJ just absolutely dominating, up 5.6%. So this is huge, guys. It's huge. And we could get a big run out of this. It's possible. Now, I'm not stating that it will happen all at one time tomorrow. It could, but I'm just saying we're in the uptrend. It's going. And I have a feeling that we are going to break out of this pattern here, which is going to engage a monster run. Now, I'm not going to say it goes straight up, but it could sit on this top here for a little bit, break out like this, and then boom, run again. This could be a very big move, is what I'll say. Remember the XAU to gold ratio. Crude oil up 0.8%, looking okay. We still have this ugly looking downtrend, and I'd really like to see some buying pressure step in here for me to be more comfortable stating that this is a for sure load up to the gills. I'd really like to break this downtrend resistance. We break through here, guys. We're going to be running on all cylinders here. Gold, silver, crude, all the other sectors too. They look very good. And I don't think a lot of people have experienced running on all cylinders in companies that can really move. This can turn not a lot of money into a lot of money, is what I'll say. TTF gas working its way on up. Looking good. It's holding on. Looking good. Big green candlesticks, small red candlesticks, kind of like a continuation pattern. We've got natural gas up 5.85. I wouldn't have guessed this, guys. But that's why I don't trade in and out. I already purchased my stuff down here, did the sprinkles, and here we are moving on up. This is also going to impact the rig count if you have crude oil and natural gas moving up together. We could see rig count come back. Just an FYI to everyone. So that looks good to go higher. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me. We're up today. The only thing I don't like about this are these big selling pressure candlesticks. It doesn't mean that we have to go lower. We could go sideways or whatever, and we very well could pull out of this depending on what nat gas and oil do. But bigger picture view looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, this here is the lead-in pattern. If you guys know me, that's your buy point there, and we are going to rip. That is it's occurring in a lot of the energy service companies too. And if you guys need help, look at my midweek update. Look at my midweek update. You'll know what I mean. OIH ripping 1.8%, and I really, really like energy service, guys. I really like it. I think we are at like a position in here. That's what this whole thing is. And I think we're about to rip. I mean, rip. So give it time. It's coming, and we'll see what crude oil does. When crude oil breaks out of that downtrend line, I think that's when the rippage starts to begin. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust, we're up today. Like I said yesterday, we had those small red candlesticks, the bullish candlestick yesterday, some follow through today. Hopefully the momentum continues is what I'll say. We've got URA up 2.7%. We are starting to break through, and well, we've broken through, and we did the retest yesterday. And here we are with the buyers coming in. We could see a up leg here. Here's my, so this is what I've got here for the pattern of the blue. This is a fractal of last bull market in, I think it was a natural gas stock. This is what I look for the lead-in pattern. We bought all in here, and now we are holding on to our uranium stocks. URNM also breaking above that resistance line going across here, and we could see this thing do a little runny, hopefully. URNJ also catching some support with a nice big bullish engulfing, and hopefully we can get running. It'll be very good for everyone who owns all this stuff. URNJ versus URNM, slight outperformance. I really am interested to see this thing break here, guys. And URNJ, so what this means is when we get to the third leg, somewhere in the third leg, the junior miners start to outperform. And right now, there's a lot of opportunities that people are not looking at in the exploration companies. They are very cheap. And again, if you need help, sign up. We've got May Day coupon code, and I can help you guys this weekend. TAN, working its way on up, lower yields. And this could break here with yields continuing lower. And I'm going to say that across the board here because copper's like that too. I think we're going to get an acceleration to the upside. Here's my awesome chart there. You like that? Let me draw this a little bit more, a little better here. So we're squeezing here, and we're probably going to break out here. We got a nice big bullish engulfing today, so it looks really good to continue on higher. It's a consolidation flag pattern. COPX ripping 2.3%. That looks good to go higher. Lithium likes the lower yields, and I think we're going to move on up here. It looks really good, and actually, we should be looking at some lithium stocks. If you guys want to bring your lithium stocks to the question and answer session this weekend, I can look at all of them if you guys like. REMX also really liking the lower yields. This pairs up real well with gold and silver, the rare earths do, and I do think this is going to work its way on up. Good entry point here, in my opinion. SPX working its way on up with lower yields. It is working it, and you know what? Maybe we do rip higher on the S&P 500. Yes, it's overvalued, and yes, it can get more overvalued. NASDAQ also right at resistance. I expect this to either fail or break through and keep running. Russell 2000 continuing to move higher. There's no short-term real patterns here outside of maybe this squeeze up here that it broke down, but it still looks okay there. KRE, I would expect this to move on up if yields continue lower. We're at resistance. The last stage of resistance is about right there. So we're ready to break through that maybe. Emerging markets, I think, is going to take off. If they lower yields, this thing's going to go, it's going to go fun. It's going to go fun. XHB will also go up when if they lower yields, the 2 years dropping, we could drop out of that pattern to the downside. XHB, emerging markets, lithium, all those things are going to rip, in my opinion. We've got MOO also moving up, another rate sensitive asset class, and it's looking really good to work its way on up. This is a great entry point down here, guys. You know my opinions on some of the companies that are in here. FEF, iron ore, looking good. We've broken, basically working our way on up. We were down a little bit, but it's still good. We've got nickel down a little bit, but still good. It's going to work its way. It's going to work its way on up. Give it time. Aluminum up about 1%. We've got kind of this flaggish pattern going on, or maybe it's a pennant formation. Pennant formation, flag pattern, doesn't matter. We'll probably break to the upside because we entered it. Generally, you get a consolidation. This is all messy here, hard to see, and then we'll probably break on up soon. Baltic Dry Index continuing to rip higher because of iron ore, coal. A lot of things are getting shipped around. Rippage, and we are partaking in Baltic Dry Index, aka dry bulk shipping. We are doing very well in it. Newcastle coal futures continuing up or going down today, but they have broken out, and I will say they are going to continue upward, in my opinion. BTC up a little bit, about 1%, still in consolidation flag pattern. Ethereum also in a consolidation flag pattern. In my opinion, if you're bullish on Ethereum, I would buy it right here. I would buy it right here, right now. Go long. It's got the pattern that I normally see for the break to the upside. That's what I would do. Not advice. Not meant to be taken as advice. I'm just giving you guys what I would see as a good entry point. SMCI down a little bit. We're getting a bearish engulfing. Could we go lower, or are the overall markets going to carry this on up? We'll find out. And NVIDIA also getting a bearish engulfing. Now, we've got a whole slew of bearish engulfings up here, guys. I would not enter a stock that has run this amount, that is this overvalued, and is showing that many bearish engulfings at the top here. There's no way. I'd be selling out of it. But who knows? The plunge protection team could prove their worth here and buy it all up. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you guys like. That's where we got that Mayday coupon code still going. MAYDAY, one word, for the discount coupon code. We've got a question and answer session coming up on Saturday, 7 a.m. Bring your questions, guys. You can ask me whatever you want. I might go over some more information to raise conviction. Of looking at maybe some previous market data and just showing you guys over and over and over what these entry points look like, because we're not buying price movements, we're buying patterns, we're buying fractals, we're buying when the market conditions are ripe for these things to go up, when the ratios are cheap. Basically, we've got every single tailwind behind us. So I want to make sure that I drive the conviction and the data into everyone that is a member, so you can see exactly what I see and why I'm so bullish and why I don't trade in and out, what I think potentially is coming. Basically give conviction and a vision of what I think is coming. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.